What's good, guys? Prince Sports here, coming at you with another one. Now, I did make a list of four superstars that's playing basketball today that could make the top 10 greatest basketball players list. And there's only one player that's actively playing right now that's heavily considered a top 10 or a top 5 best basketball player of all time, and that's LeBron James himself. But what if I was to tell you that LeBron James' legacy won't age well, that he won't be on that top 10 list for a very long time? You may say, oh, yo, you bugging, you crazy. Think about it. Some of the most important factors that keep you on that top 10 list, LeBron James is lacking in it. So it's making him a little more easy to come off that list faster than you think. Now, you got over 7 years left of this generation, right? So by the time the 2030s hit, I think you will have a superstar that probably won just as much as LeBron James, has more better individual accomplishments than LeBron James, and that'd be enough to surpass LeBron. Because look at it like this, LeBron James, to stay on that list, you have to have likability, not just amongst the media. You have to have likability amongst the general public. And LeBron James, I keep saying, is like the Floyd Mayweather of the NBA. He don't have that much support with the general public. You didn't win the people over. And it's for several reasons. So if you have more people that don't respect or devalue your legacy more, then how are you going to stay on that top 10 list for a certain amount of time? It's not going to age well. All right. So look at it like this. There's so much factors that play in. And one of the factors is winning itself. He's 4-6 in the NBA Finals. That's a losing record. So you're celebrating mediocrity. Once you're celebrating that, that's easy to overcome if somebody is doing it in a more impressive fashion. And LeBron has won 4 championships, right? But you could argue that LeBron's not the reason they won those 4 championships. He won those 4 championships for a reason, not because he is the reason. That's a big difference. And a big difference is the reason why he won 4 championships is easy. Super team, teaming up with this guy, teaming up with that guy. How could you not win when you're teaming up with so much talent, right? So it devalues your winning. It devalues you getting championships, no matter how you slice it. So damned if you do, damned if you don't. This is the problem to making super teams. Reason number 2. You were considered the best basketball player, let's say roughly around the 2010s, right? But in the 2010s era, you won 3 championships. Steph Curry won 3 championships. Kawhi won 2. Kevin Durant won 2. So a lot of guys won championships under your watch. Kobe won the first one in 2010 itself. So he stole one at the beginning of the era, just like you stole one at the beginning of the 2020 era. But if you look at all the great NBA players, they won more championships for their era than anybody. It goes even back to Bill Russell, right? Part of the reason why you could say Bill Russell or make a case that he's the best player of his era is because he won the most. Now, I don't think he's the best player of his era, but some people do. So if you do think that, that's part of the reason. Magic Johnson won 5 in the 1980s, making him the king of the 80s, all right? Kobe won 4 in the 2000s, making him the king of the 2000s. Shaq won 4 as well, but Shaq really only won 3 as the number 1 alpha of his own team. Then you got Michael Jordan, won the most of the 90s, self-explanatory. Probably would have won more if he didn't retire. But he still won hands down the most championships in his era, and nobody else even came close. So that's one thing. Then you got, presently now, you got Giannis winning 1. You got LeBron won the very first one at the beginning of this era. You got Steph Curry that recently won. So LeBron, Steph, and Giannis are the 3 guys that won in this era. If LeBron James does not continue to win from now to the end of his career, his legacy going to take a big hit because he keep playing on teams as championship contenders. And if you can't win on a title contender while you're still considered an elite player yourself, that's going to hurt your legacy. All right? And you have to take into accountability that the people elect you as the GOAT. And based off a lot of your flaws and your shortcomings and underachieving most of the time, people are not going to elect you as the GOAT. So you already lost that battle within itself. So there's a lot playing against. Think of it like this: if there's another player that comes along to win even 3 championships without a super team, win multiple regular season MVPs, win a Defensive Player of the Year award, prove that he's the most dominant and best basketball player of his era, he could surpass LeBron James. That'd be enough to knock LeBron off. Because right now, as we speak, Steph Curry is doing a pretty good job of overshadowing LeBron's legacy if he wins one more. Under LeBron's watch, and you won more titles by beating LeBron James? So how could you be the best basketball player of all time if you can't even dominate your own era to win the most? That's a big red flag. Think about it. You can't be the best if you can't be the best of your own era. And the guys that you team up with, they all could have won without you. They didn't need you. You needed them. Dwayne Wade could have went and won championships with Chris Bosh and a solid supporting cast. You don't believe that? Then guess what? The Miami Heat would have drafted guys like Jimmy Butler. The only reason why they drafted Norris Cole was because LeBron liked it Norris Cole. But if LeBron wasn't on the Miami Heat would have drafted Jimmy Butler. So it would have been Jimmy Butler, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. That would have been a deadly duo. So even a lot of the guys you teamed up with, they didn't need you. They could have won and developed on their own. The Cleveland Cavaliers, if they kept drafting players, Andrew Wiggins was a #1 draft pick. He became an all-star now. But just imagine if you let all these guys develop on the Cleveland Cavaliers. They probably would have been the next Golden State Warriors over time. They didn't need LeBron. So none of these guys needed LeBron to win. Anthony Davis could have teamed up with anybody to win a championship. He could have teamed up with just another all-star and won a championship. He didn't need LeBron, but LeBron needed these guys. So it's really alarming when you're not the reason why you win. But again, you win because of a reason, not because you are the reason. Sports out. Peace.